This is going to sound horrible, but does it feel a little bit cheap? Right? There was nothing that was like, wow, I really like this.
What do you want out of it that's not there?
Grown-up Ashley is like, hey, I'm hosting Thanksgiving. Everyone's coming over. There's like a nice kitchen, tons of space for people to like sit and eat.
It feels like, does it feel all or nothing to you?
Yeah.
Why is that, do you think?
Because I'm almost 40?
Fact check, Ayala is 36, but the takeaway is that she feels behind. After another showing, Ayala drives us to her dream neighborhood, one of those ginormous new housing communities. It has its own bus stop, 2 lazy rivers.
See, these houses are significantly bigger.
They're much bigger. These are not what I would call like starter homes.
No.
We park and check out a fully staged model unit. These homes run about 1,000 square feet bigger than the other house we saw for up to double the price.
Look, my office.
No, I already know. You don't have to tell me.
That new voice you hear is Ayala's boyfriend, James Hillfiker, who's joined us for this showing. They've been together for about half a year. Hillfiker is 39, and up until last fall, he was at the same adulting crossroads as Ayala. Go it alone or wait for a partner to take big life steps. Except Hillfiker made a decision. He bought 50 acres of land in rural Texas, 4 hours from Austin.
To me, it's very peaceful, right? Currently, the nearest neighbor is 2 miles away.
We're back at Ayala's apartment now, taking stock of the day. Hillfiker wants to homestead. He's building a ranch, livestock and all. And he's asked Ayala to join him. But her family is here in Austin. And she likes the conveniences of suburban living, going to the movies and to Target. I ask how they're going to find some sort of compromise.
I want to support her as much as I can. Why would I keep you from chasing your dreams, right? And I think there's a way to coexist.
I hear you. But by its very definition, buying a house here is a huge permanent step away from building
together.
anything with you.
Yeah, I know.
Ayala didn't end up buying any of the houses we saw that day, but she's still looking and still trying to figure out what kind of grown-up Ashley she'll be. In Kyle, Texas, I'm Kristen Schwab for Marketplace.
This is one of those weeks where you wake up and you say, man, what is happening out there? Might I offer a suggestion? David Brancaccio and the Marketplace Morning Report. They get up in the middle of the night to make sure you know what's going on. Check it out. Not to be forgotten amid all the news of the damage it's doing to the American economy is the Trump administration's dismantling of large parts of the federal government. And that's not just limited to federal employees. It affects federal contractors, too, and so spills over into the private sector economy. The government spends nearly $800 billion a year paying businesses to provide all kinds of services, from cleaning and janitorial to high-tech engineering. Washington's had policies in place for decades that give a leg up to women and minority-owned businesses providing those services, had being the operative word there, thanks to an executive order that, as Marketplace's Kimberly Adams reports, has businesses that benefited from those programs worried about their future.
Decades of policies designed to level the playing field for minority and women-owned businesses have given a big boost to many members of the U.S. Minority Contractors Association. Larry Bullock is president of the group, which represents about 220 companies across the U.S.
The bulk of our firms are into the infrastructure. That means that they do site work, roads, hauling, concrete, asphalt, utilities.
Many of these firms are certified by the federal government to compete for contracts that are set aside for what are known as small disadvantaged businesses. The executive orders don't explicitly cancel these programs, but
Several of our firms are fearful. I dare say some border on paranoia.
that's because, according to Dominique Casimir, a partner at the law firm Blank Rome,
The executive order that the president signed on his first day in office directed the government to terminate all government contracts that they view as being equity related.
That order and others are being challenged in court. We reached out to the Small Business Administration for comment on this issue, but didn't hear back before our deadline. While we've already seen the government cancel contracts tied to specific DEI programs, it's less clear what these orders mean for minority contractors. But we have some signs. See, the federal government has traditionally set targets for what percentage of each agency's contracts should go to disadvantaged businesses. Deepak Bhatt is at GovSpend, which tracks federal contracting data.
That spending in 2024 was 9.8%. So this is about $76 billion.
The Trump administration has reset the target for these contracts to just 5%. It's a floor, not a ceiling, but, says Bhatt,
that could amount to about $38 billion of contract spending that's currently going to a small disadvantaged business that will potentially no longer go to some of those companies.
Bhatt says many minority-owned contracting companies have built their business strategies around these targets and set-asides as a way to compete for contracts against bigger, better connected or resourced firms. But given the current administration's anti-DEI push,
everybody's terrified right now that their contracts will be terminated. Everybody is terrified right now of just drawing a spotlight.
That's lawyer Dominique Casimir, a partner at Blank Rome again. She says her clients are scrambling to make sure their programs and policies don't run afoul of new and shifting contracting guidelines.
What you're seeing right now is government contractors making all sorts of changes to their programs because they don't want to become the target of a government investigation.
All of the multiple minority-owned contracting firms I reached out to for this story declined to speak on the record for the same reason. Members of the U.S. Minority Contractors Association were wary of drawing attention to themselves, too. Nevertheless, says Larry Bullock, the association's president, his group is planning to fight these executive orders in court. In the meantime, he's advising members to turn to other levels of government as a backup plan.
We've encouraged our members to look at the local and state government policies that say the people who are in a certain geographic demographic area should get an opportunity to participate. And they call them local preferences.
Because he says some communities are digging in on their diversity commitments, even as the administration pulls back on the federal government's. In Washington, I'm Kimberly Adams for Marketplace.
Marketplace is supported by Drexel University and R1 Research Institution, according to the Carnegie Classification, affirming Drexel's dedication to experiences that positively impact society. More at drexel.edu. And by Bank of America. From local shops to global enterprises, Bank of America is committed to helping businesses of all sizes make every move matter. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/bankingforbusiness.
This final note on the way out today, courtesy of Reuters. You are a major American company, global, in fact. Your flagship product is made in China, and you wake up to see that tariffs on Chinese imports to the United States are now being tariffed at an eye-watering rate of 145%. What do? Well, you take 600 tons of iPhones, about 1.5 million of them, and you put them on a couple of planes to India. That's what you do. Come on, right? More stories from this tariff economy coming up tomorrow. John Buckley, John Gordon, Noya Carr, Diantha Parker, Amanda Petra, and Stephanie Seek are the Marketplace editing staff. Amir Bibawi is the managing editor. And I'm Kai Rizdal. We will see you tomorrow, everybody. This is APM.
WNYC supporters include Drexel University.